Have you ever wondered how our ancestors entertained themselves before the advent of modern technology? It's quite a thought, isn't it? Well, let's take a journey back in time to the cradle of civilization in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Imagine the sand beneath your feet, the sun overhead, and in your hands a set of small carved tokens. That's right, our ancestors were just as fond of board games as we are. The oldest known board game, Senet, dates back to around 3000 BC. The rules may be lost to time, but the allure of the game is clear. Then there's the game of Ur, hailing from ancient Mesopotamia. These games weren't just pastimes, they were deeply ingrained in their respective cultures, often associated with divination and the gods themselves. Indeed, board games have been a part of human history far longer than we might have initially thought. And that, my friends, is just the beginning of our story. As civilizations grew and spread, so did the joy of board games. This delightful pastime, once the privilege of kings and queens, began to traverse the globe, weaving its way into the fabric of diverse cultures and societies. Let's delve into this fascinating journey. The game of chess, known as Chaturanga, made its first moves in the rich cultural tapestry of ancient India. This strategic game, meant to symbolize a battlefield, was not just a pastime but a tool for honing the mind and fostering strategic thinking. As it spread across Persia and the Arab world, it evolved into Shatranj and later into the chess we know today. Meanwhile, in the Far East, another game was taking root. Go, a game of profound simplicity yet immense strategic depth, was being played in China. Originating over 2,500 years ago, Go represented the balance of opposites and the cycle of life. Its spread across the Asian continent led to its deep integration into the philosophies and cultural narratives of the region. In the opulent courts of Persia, the game of backgammon emerged, its roots possibly dating back to the game of Senet in ancient Egypt. As it ventured along the Silk Road, it took on new forms and variations, eventually evolving into the game we love today. These games and countless others were not static entities. They morphed and shifted, adapting to the cultures they encountered, reflecting societal changes and incorporating local philosophies. They became more than mere games. They were mirrors of the societies they flourished in, reflecting the values, beliefs, and aspirations of the people. The beauty of these board games lies in their adaptability and resilience. They sailed across oceans, journeyed through deserts, and traversed mountains. They were adopted by kings and commoners alike, cherished in royal courts and humble homes. They evolved, they adapted, but they never disappeared. Board games not only survived the test of time, but they also evolved with the changing times, reflecting the cultures they were a part of. Fast forward to the 20th century, a time when board games experienced a renaissance. Amidst the hardships of the Great Depression, Monopoly, a game of real estate and capitalism, was introduced. It became a symbol of hope and aspiration, allowing people to dream of owning property and achieving wealth, even if only on a game board. Post-war prosperity led to a boom in the board game industry. Traditional family games were still popular, but a new breed of strategy games began to emerge. Games like Risk and Diplomacy offered a more complex, tactical experience, appealing to those who enjoyed the thrill of strategic planning and negotiation. As the 20th century drew to a close, a new genre of board games, known as Eurogames, started to gain prominence. These games, originating largely from Germany, emphasized strategy over luck and conflict, promoting balanced competition and player interaction. In recent years, we've seen a resurgence in the popularity of board games, and it's not just nostalgia driving this trend. In a world increasingly dominated by screens, board games offer a tangible, tactile experience. They foster social interaction, encouraging face-to-face communication and cooperative play. They challenge our minds, inspire our imaginations, and remind us of the joy of play. In the digital age, board games have managed to not only survive but also thrive, providing a tangible social alternative to screen-based entertainment. So, what have we learned about the history of board games? From the ancient civilizations that first carved game pieces to the diverse cultures that embraced and evolved the concept, board games have a rich and varied past. We've seen their transformation over time, from simple stone boards to intricate modern designs, and their enduring popularity in today's world. The next time you sit down for a game of chess or Monopoly, remember that you're participating in a tradition that spans centuries, continents, and cultures.